Hello, I'm Erin Schleves and I am the author of the Heart Codes Oracle. And this little video today is to help you get the most out of your cards. So when you receive them, you will have a little box like this and a little guidebook like this. I created these cards to be really super easy to pop in your handbag, to have on your desk at work or somewhere at home, so that you can start to create a daily practice for yourself of connecting with spirit and with that inner guidance and love that's already inside of you. So when you first get your cards, spend a little bit of time getting to know them, and that can be a really simple process, or you can make it a more detailed ritual depending on what feels good for you. At the very least, taking some time to just look at each card as you go through the deck, just taking a moment to read the word, to look at the code, and just to let that sink in for a minute, because your energy in your hands is then connecting with those cards. If you wanted to go a little bit further, you might, for example, hold the cards over your heart, your throat, your third eye, for that connection to your higher guidance, clear communication, and loving messages. By all means, go further, do whatever feels good for you, but at the very least, just going through the cards one by one is a really nice way to put your energy into the deck. You might also like to do a little bit of smoke cleansing, so if you have some incense or some dry herbs that you can burn and let the smoke waft up, and you can hold your cards over those with the intention of letting that smoke just clear off any energy that might have come from the process of creating these cards, so that they're just beautifully clear for you. Now, in a moment, I'm going to show you 3 different ways that you can choose a card from the deck. But before I do that, I just want to talk to you a little bit about what to do when your card comes out. So when you receive a card, when you are doing a little spread or a daily card pull for yourself, you'll be able to go to the book, read the message. There is also an affirmation there, and the way that I've created these to be used is to take your card and actually trace the code with your finger. If you're out somewhere in public and that feels a bit weird, you can just trace the code with your eyes, but doing this 3 times along with reciting the affirmation 3 times just allows it to integrate more fully into your being. We are very fast creatures, and we tend to rush between here and there and don't necessarily give ourselves the time and space to just let things integrate, to be for a minute. And so the heart codes give you this opportunity, even if it's just for a couple of minutes in your day, to just be still, to connect, to remind yourself that you are part of something greater than just this kind of, physical 3D life, that you are in fact connected to spirit, and that there is this loving energy all around you that wants the best for you and wants you to live the most joyful life possible. So doing this with the affirmation and tracing the codes helps to bring that a little bit more deeply into your field. So 3 ways that you can choose the cards. The first way is what I tend to do, which is to let a card present itself. So for a daily card read for myself, I will use an intention like, what do I need to focus on today for my happiness and healing? And I'm going to hold that in my mind as I'm shuffling. Now, I'm going to be talking to you as I'm shuffling now, but if I was doing it for myself, I would be really still and focused. And if my mind was to wander somewhere else, I would bring it back, because if I start to think about something else as I'm shuffling the cards, then that's the energy that I'm asking for guidance of. So if my mind starts thinking about someone else or something else, we want to bring it back and just get clear. Sorry, no, this is actually what I wanted guidance around. So then I'm just going to shuffle, and these cards are really beautiful and smooth, so should shuffle really nicely. I have many decks because it's something I'm very passionate about, but I find they seem to be getting bigger and bigger, and I have big hands and I struggle with them. So these are a beautiful size for you to be able to shuffle really easily. Now, if you're not a great shuffler, you can just kind of, you know, pull them apart and push them back in together. It's fine. I am not a super shuffler by any means. Do what you can, and just what you're looking for is a feeling. So you've set that intention and you're thinking about that intention, and then it will just feel like, yeah, that feels good. What I'm looking for as I'm shuffling and thinking of my intention is I'm looking for, in this particular option, a card to present itself. Now what that will look like, and I wonder whether Spirit will be so kind as to show me one. Yeah, here we go. So I'm looking for a card that presents itself a bit more obviously from the other cards in the pack. And now I can check if it is the card that's for me, because when I go to pull it out, it will either come out really easily or it will grip and it will kind of hold on. So this one's going to come out nice and easily, so that I would take this as my card. If it was not quite so presented and I went for it, it feels different. It just doesn't pull out as easily. So I would say, okay, nope, I'll put them back in and I'll shuffle again. So that's one way, and that's something that maybe you feel great doing straight away, or maybe you want to kind of use one of the other methods and over time get a little bit more confident with seeing those ones present. You'll find doing it this way, you'll have occasions where a card will literally fly out and across the room. which is always fun. The second way you can choose a card is by cutting the deck. And what that means is, once you've had your intention held, you've been shuffling, it feels like, yep, I've got my energy in there, Spirit's got my intention, then what you're going to do on a flat surface is you're going to use your non-dominant hand to just pull up a part of the deck. And so usually you'll do 3 piles. So you'd put that one down, then you'd pick up another and put it down. And then observing those 3 piles, tuning into the one that feels the brightest, the one that feels like it's calling you. And again, this is all part of the journey of trusting your inner guidance, you know? Kind of just imagining, you know, if it feels like, oh, I don't know which one's calling out to me, well then just imagine if one was going to call out to me, which one would it be? And so then you're going to place the cards back on top of themselves with that pile that was calling to you sitting at the very top. And then you can just take the top card, just like that. The third way that you can choose a card is, again, with intention and shuffling. Then you fan the cards, and you can just, some people might like to, they sort of put their hand over and feel for a card. You can just look to see what calls for you. One might again present a little bit more out of the deck, and you can choose that. Really, it's just choosing what feels good for you. There's no better way. All 3 ways are fantastic. You just tune into what feels good for you. So once you've chosen your card, you've received the message, you've traced the code, you've recited the affirmation, you can take it a step further if you want to and do a journaling practice with it. I've included in the guidebook a little practice that you can try if you want to get some deeper meaning from that card. It can be really useful if you select a card and it's not immediately relevant for you. You know, 20 years of working with cards has shown me that Spirit always knows. Spirit is very deliberate about the card that's being presented to you. It's just usually we don't want to hear what it's saying. But if for some reason it really doesn't feel like it's making sense, then you can use the journaling process to just get a little bit more clarity from what Spirit is trying to tell you. You can also just really tune into the code. So when you receive a card and you've got the code there, thinking about, what does this make me think of? What do the words make me think of? What is the energy that this color brings me? You know, just really using all the different elements of the cards to bring that guidance in. And you'll find the more you do this for yourself and try and create a daily practice, the more easily you'll read and receive the information. So it's just a matter of practice, and you will have a really beautiful relationship with the cards before you know it. I also have in the in the book, a couple of different options for you in terms of different card spreads that you might like to use if you're trying to create and understand something bigger, you want some guidance, you've got a situation going on, you need some clarity. Using those card spreads can be a really useful way to get some of that clarity, to dig in a little deeper with a bit more specific guidance. So feel free to use those or create your own. This is your journey, your connection to your heart. So please feel confident to use them in the way that feels good for you. And I would love for you to share with me anything that you experience. I would love to see you using the heart code. So feel free to, you know, post pictures, email them to me, tag me, whatever it is that you like to do, because this is a gift from my heart to you. And I really want us to continue to live loving, joyful lives so we can really create this beautiful world that we want for ourselves. So enjoy the heart codes